Hey guys, so it's Mark here with the first video. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous coming into this and knowing that this was gonna be my first topic because I knew that there's just not a lot of people that know. um, but I've come to the point in my life, it's been about a year and some months, um, so I feel like I'm ready now. Um, and I feel like I've accepted it, so that's partly why I'm ready. Um, so I've been living with HIV for about a year and some months. I found out on Jesus. I found out on April 1st of 2019. Great timing. Um, you know, excellent timing, if you will. Um, and I really struggled with it for a very long time. It led me, not only into this like deep dark hole, and I just didn't feel like I would ever get out of this like depression and feeling anxious and feeling worried all the time and like very paranoid about you know just really weird stuff. Um, it led me to addictions, substances and alcohol and um, it wasn't until the year anniversary this past April 1st that I kind of started looking back at the past year and realizing that I wasn't really coping with all of it, like I should have. Um, so this might not be for everybody. I'm just telling my story, the way that it happened with me and how I found happiness and how I came to accept it. Um, I feel like I heard God's voice in the middle of me. Um, it was it was like in the middle of the night. Last May, I remember it was right after I had left my job because I was trying to emotionally deal with it and I couldn't take a vacation and I wasn't able to get a vacation and I pretty much was on the verge of being fired because I was always leaving early and throwing up all the time. And I was crying because I had just left my job. I wasn't having any money coming in. On top of that, I just found out I had HIV a few weeks ago, at this time period. And um, I didn't call out for God, but I just remember thinking, oh my God, like, just something, like, can something good happen? Can something, something that's not gonna, beat me down even more happen? I just need a sign that everything's gonna be okay. I felt like I heard God inside of me, and He told me to go ahead and just try Him. Try me. Free samples of Jesus. So at first I was like, oh, let me just go to church and stuff. I didn't end up going to church. I was like, not really into like the ritual stuff. One night I was on Facebook and I ran across a Sarah Jakes Roberts video from Eat Like a King, and it instantly hit me, and I started crying, and that was the moment that I knew that God was for me. um, and from there, even if I was struggling with addictions throughout, ever since I found religion again and like, you know, um, restructured the relationship with me and God, I was dealing with addictions and stuff, but I always believed that as long as I just prayed for strength, He would bless me with that, and He has. Um, so the point of me coming out to you guys and telling you that I have HIV was because I was kind of astonished when I had first found out I had it, and I went on YouTube and there was like barely any kind of videos, barely anybody talking about it on the internet, period. And I think it's because there's a stigma in our community, in the gay community, that if you have HIV, like you're looked at as you're dirty, like you're a hoe, like you were looking for it, and you're doing all this and that and blah blah blah. And I am not dirty. um, I didn't actually know that I had it for a couple months, and the circumstances are really weird. I'm not gonna bring that up. I'm not gonna talk about it because that's not relevant to this. um, but the point is, there's such a big stigma, and not only in our community, but when people like straight people or just any human in general finds out that you have it, it's kind of like, ooh, like, well, what did you do? And it's crazy because that was one of the first questions I got from um, a manager that I used to work with. They had, when I told them like I have HIV, and they're like, "Oh my God, like I thought you were faithful." It has to be me, and I was very hurt by that response because that's not what I had needed. I don't think that's what anyone needs. Um, is to be questioned when you're sucker punched to the ground, pretty much. Um, but I digress. Uh, I want to beat that stigma. I want to be a part of a movement, or like just tell people it's all right. Apparently also I've been told that HIV people are supposed to look sick, or people with HIV and AIDS are supposed to look sick. They're supposed to be all frail and stuff. And I remember I told somebody that had HIV, and they're like, "Wow, you don't look like you have HIV." And I'm like, "What the fuck am I supposed to look like?" I'm confused. Um, but it's just crazy because I didn't think a year ago that I'd be able to like talk about this, and I wasn't really sure as I was pressing this record button if I was going to be able to talk about it, to be honest. Um, but I feel like I'm gonna be helping at least one person that's probably struggling with something that's similar, or the same thing, or maybe even something worse, and they find some kind of inspiration. Because what I wanted to show y'all is that I went through that and other things in my life, which you're gonna find out in other videos to come, and you don't really realize the strength that you have within you until you go through something super dark that really tests it. And I feel like that's what God's work is for me, is to tell my story and to show that no, I'm not perfect. No, I'm not this like Bible thumper. I'm not I'm a Christian, but I'm not Bible thumping. But I do have the strength. Um, I have the strength that I didn't think I had in me. Um, and I hope and pray that if there's anybody that's watching this video out there in the world, and they're struggling with this, that this kind of gives them some kind of hope, because I kind of wish that someone had given me hope whenever I was going through it. So if I can do that for one person, that's the mission. um, so yeah, and like I said, we're trying to get there, and we're trying to be as happy as we can be and be the best versions of ourselves. And I do want to thank everybody who was giving me love and support with that first video, and I hope you guys take some kind of lesson from any of these videos that I'm going to be coming out with here on out. But love y'all, God bless, and I will see you guys soon.